Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. It's Anthony and Jackie here.
Hey.
Before we get started, we want you guys to like and subscribe for us on YouTube. All right.
Yeah, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all do that. Make sure you press the like button, the bell, so you get notifications of what's going on when we post our next videos. We appreciate it. Love y'all.
Thank you so much. Appreciate y'all.
And as the little signs say, we're going to talk about our family and how we built it up.
Yeah, blended and all.
Right.
Blended and all. Man, so I just want to just jump right out the gate, right?
So
yeah, I got to rag on our oldest son, Dorian. Man, I tell you a funny story. I just remember we was at Walmart. And
accidentally, because we weren't at Walmart.
Well,
together.
no, we wasn't there
I
together.
happened to be at Walmart,
and I happened to be at Walmart. And you know, I saw the kids. You know, I got a big heart for kids, right? So I bought these little dudes some little toys. It was some airplanes or some cars or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we meeting up, and right before we leave, our oldest son Dorian was like, "Mom, can I ride with him?" So I was like, "Oh yeah, come on, you know, just hey, come kick it with me." So we get in the car, we riding, and I'm talking to him, just asking him little questions, you know. Then he got real like awkwardly quiet, right? So I'm like, this dude just got quiet on me real quick. And he looked, he was like, "Hey, you know you're not gonna be my dad, right?" I was busting out laughing. And I was just like, yo, like I ain't trying to be Pops, man, but I mean, literally, this dude said, "You know, you're not gonna be my dad, right?"
Like he planned it.
Like he planned it. Like the whole purpose to ride with me was just to tell me, "Yo, you ain't gonna be my dad, right, sucker?" No.
Thanks for the plane. Thanks for the car.
Yeah,
but what we're not about to do is try to take my daddy's place.
Yeah, right.
So Anthony had to reassure him that wasn't his purpose in his mama's life.
Yeah,
and he was just coming in to do something different.
Yeah, and that's one thing. I also, babe, I just want to reiterate is that I never wanted to separate him and his dad's space. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to my guy Dorio. What's up, man?
For the good story.
For the good story.
Continue sharing with everybody.
He did the same thing at our little $60 courthouse wedding too. So
right.
You want to go in that story, babe?
Yeah. So we decided we was gonna get married at the courthouse, and that's what we did. We grabbed the kids up and went to the courthouse. And Dorian, he's my baby. He was my only baby for a long time, and loved his mama to death. And so when that day came, he was devastated. If you look at any of the pictures at the wedding at the courthouse, he was sad in every photo.
Everyone.
Every photo, his face was tore up.
Man.
And everybody was trying to cheer him up, like my mama, your mama,
everybody,
my auntie, everybody was, and then people would get kind of mad, like, "You should not be acting like that. Why are you acting like that?" And he was just so sad.
Oh, come here. Come get in our video. Come here. Come here, dude. Oh, now he don't want to be on camera.
Because he smiles now.
That's my guy.
But his tie was all tore up in the picture. It was high and low. He had the high and low tie. He had a sad face from the court all the way to the courthouse, all the way home. Like, my baby was tore up. And then the next day, he woke up and was back normal. But Dorian was not having it. Like, I can't believe this happened today.
My guy was distraught.
Yeah, he tried to bring the whole day down.
It did pour down, so baby.
Yeah, like the tears that he wanted to cry, it poured at the wedding. I mean, it rained very, very, very hard.
Yes, it did.
And but I heard that was good luck.
Yeah.
When it rains at your wedding, it's supposed to be good luck. We about to be 10 years in on
10
April 2nd.
Man,
so I
that's
guess
crazy.
That
what a blessing
for us.
What a blessing.
But anyways, that was the funny story Anthony said he was going to start off with this week. But and then the courthouse situation, everybody else was happy, Dorian was sad.
Yeah.
But we wanted to talk about our blended family.
Yes.
Yeah, blending our families together and how that all went. So How do you think it went?
Honestly, I really think the transition went real smooth. Honestly, I think it was just one of those things where, kind of how we meshed, and I think that's kind of how the kids meshed. Even when Dorian met A2 Anthony, shout out Anthony Jr. When they first met, it was just like they knew each other.
They were the same age.
Kind of around that same age.
Dorian was 9, AJ was 8.
Yeah.
Kobe was 3. Mario just turned 2. And no Elijah at that time. So the kids was right at the same age, so it wouldn't be a problem with them playing together and having a common interest at that age. So our kids did.
The transition was smooth. I didn't have no reserve or anything. I don't think. I think when I was just kind of, again, I was just always very receptive of you and whatever you had coming into it, because I was into you, and the fact that I was into you, I knew, that was going to just kind of bring about me loving your boys. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that, I think, again, the transition went smooth.
I agree the transition went smooth, because our kids, they're great kids. So yeah, the transition was smooth with just joining the kids together. Like, now we're married. What was it? Our kids never called us the mom and dad thing. Like, we never had a conversation. We never, on the radio show, it asked about, did we sit down and have a conversation with parents and parents? Yeah. And we're like, oh yeah, let's talk to our other kids' parents and say, yes, we're getting married. And this is how we plan on raising the kids. We never did that. Should we? Did it sounds good?
Yeah, probably.
It sounds good, but I don't think it would have worked.
No.
Even then, because it was still might have been, I'm just speaking, I'm not saying this is people's thoughts process, but maybe bitterness or something. So coming to a table at that point might not have been.
I always looked at it as all of us might not have been mentally mature enough to handle that whole thing. Process. Mm-hmm. Us getting married and all of that. So it wouldn't have been a wise move at that time. Nope. Right. I think we all had. I know. I'll just speak for us. We just wanted to make sure that we grew in a mental capacity to where it wouldn't cause any friction
in anybody else's household. We just came to take care of our own and do what we do at our house. Yeah. I agree with you definitely on that. But when we did get married, we didn't have conversations on who's making kids call them, you gonna call me mama, you gonna call me daddy and stuff like that.
I really wasn't tripping on that.
Yeah, I didn't trip on it either, because I was raised in a step-parent households, and we were never demanded to call the other one mom or dad.
Yeah, I was too, but for me, it just felt good to call someone dad, So, and of course, this will be another episode possibly, but in the beginning, I never really had that dad figure. So for me to call Wendell Pops or Dad, it wasn't different for me. Mm-hmm. Or I'm not different. It wasn't difficult for you, because I definitely always yearned for a man to be in my life. So it was just like one of those things where I was like, oh, okay, daddy. You know what I mean? So it was easy. And he was also kind of just around too when I was young too. So it was just one of those things. Even when Kobe did that, remember, it was a period where Kobe was like calling, me dad for a minute, and I was like, yo, you don't have to, so.
I don't remember that, but I'm pretty sure it happened. Because I remember a time when Amari tried to, she was calling. It was like so weird, and I remember me and
Amari is our fourth baby.
As our daughter, but she tried it a couple of times. She maybe tried it about 4 times out of the 10 years. Yeah. And every time it was like really awkward, and I would turn away and laugh girl, you ain't got to. But if it fits, it fits. But if it don't, I'm perfectly fine. Right, you don't have to. I'm going to respond anyway, either way, and I'm still going to take care of you the way that I have in the get-go. Right. So you don't have to, but I think she would just test it out. Right. And it was fine to test it out. And it didn't stick. And I'm fine. She's just as respectful as me being her Jackie, and as she is my Mari, and we go on from there. But when she tried it out, it would be so funny. But all the kids in the house has tried it. Like our oldest has tried it with Dorian, and then he had a rebuttal from his parent, from his other parent, which stopped that. And it honestly, if I have to go in depth, it kind of hurt his feelings. And so I had to have a conversation about that, not to implement it, but just to say, like, you know, no, it wasn't a forced thing. But if there was a relationship and a bond between a son and this gentleman, referring to Anthony, then, you know, no harm, no foul. Right. So it's not a problem. But, you know, we talked about it, and that was the end of it. Ain't nobody forcing, we never forced it on our children. And I don't think that it should be. But as long as they're taking care of the kids and they're respectful, I think that that's all that mattered in our household.
Right. I know this may not have been on our agenda, but I just kind of wanted to ask you, how did you feel about disciplining the kids? Like, how was your, like, when it came to
you disciplining them?
No, I mean either or. Like, if it was my kid or your kids, because, you know, if it was Anthony and Amari,
I can answer both ways for me. So for me disciplining Anthony or Amari, I think I might be more gentler or more cautious in my discipline. You know, I think before I discipline swifter than I would with my own children. But would I discipline? Absolutely. Yeah. Like, 'cause I remember a time when Amari was cussing, and I was like, what we're not about to do. I can't remember what it was. I think I called her mom or something. It was way weird, and I was like, what just happened? Like, what we're not about to do is do that. And I don't remember what I did. I might have popped her like, hey, watch your mouth. That's not what we're doing. Yeah. And so very cautious with my tone and any hands-on things, you know. But with you in the other way, I expect more from you because it's, first of all, it's boys, and then I want you to be completely hands-on. I don't want you to like destroy my kids, but but I do want you to be a hands-on dad for them, because like your part is just as valuable as their father's part, and it can't hurt to have two parents. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I it doesn't bother me, and I don't mind at all.
I had no apprehension at all. I think for me, like you said, it was expected of me. Like, I just felt like being the man of the house, that I had to make sure that they just wasn't gonna run over you and not run over me.
you. Yeah, and I wasn't gonna let them run over you because first of all, you my husband. That's not what we gonna do. Right. Because this is long term, and eventually y'all gonna leave, and I'm gonna need him to still be here. Right. So when they leave, I still expect my husband to be here. So I can't let my kids run my house, and you're gonna respect my husband. Right. And so I listen. So, you know, if we have any issues, we come together outside of the kids, discuss what the issue might be. We've had times we have to apologize to kids. We've had times, we have times we have to apologize to kids and go on and go from there. We have full blown family family meetings. Yeah, we have full blown family meetings and discuss. Let the kids talk. Something we kind of didn't get when we were younger. Stuff like that. So.
And also it also just leads to so many different things. You know, just to get them to understand what it is that we're trying to do and trying to train, because once they do get out on their own, you know what I mean, they're gonna have to know this is not how certain things operate within the family dynamic.
Within the family dynamic. And then if they happen to get in a situation where they be in a blended family, they have an example. Like they can say I was raised in this blended family, and this is how my parents did it. You know what I'm saying? And we're not saying we did everything but we also made thoughtful decisions. You know, so hopefully that helps them when they have to.
Right,
when they get out here.
Right.
Hopefully they don't go that route where they have to be in a blended family. But
I mean,
even if it's not, even if it's husband and wife, y'all still got to figure out how y'all gonna manage these children.
Yeah,
because children are trying to take over.
It's more apt to happen nowadays than. I mean, I'm not
you
saying,
have to be truthful.
Yeah.
But we pray that they don't.
Yeah.
It should be a whole lot easier if y'all decide not to. You hear me?
Yes, and that is another thing too that we do. And I think we should do it. We don't do it more often, but we do pray with our kids. We pray with them. We also pray for them when they're not around. Of course, it's definitely vital that you definitely pray for your children. You know, the attack on them can be very fierce. So just pray for them at all times.
I wanted to talk about, go back a little bit about calling them mom and dad.
Okay.
Because I remember when I was little, I remember my stepmother, Tessie, how she had, I think I was with her since I was, I don't know, very young, little, I'm going to just throw out a number, maybe 2 years old. And I remember, and that might be wrong, sorry, Mom. But I remember at times when my mama would come and pick me up, my real mother would come and pick me up, and I would have to say bye to my parents in my household, and then I would struggle with that mom that I knew I was saying, like I would call her mom at the house, but then when my real mama would come, I wouldn't know what to say, like how to respond to my actual mom. So I remember as a little kid that struggle.
Wow.
Like coming in. So I don't know if that's why I never pressed the issue. Mm-hmm. I don't think I even thought about it, mm-hmm. But I do remember that feeling, and I do remember that struggle of what am I going to say?
Right.
And how am I going to say it? Whoa, like both of them are here. Both of them are here now. And like that really, it affected me. And so I can only imagine how it would bother another kid.
Wow.
I do remember that. And it was crazy. It's just some things that just stick with kids that sometimes us as parents don't even think of. Is that something that a little kid is even struggling with? So I had struggles with blended family even when I was little.
Yeah.
We try not to argue in front of the kids.
Yeah, definitely. I
think we've only had one argument in front of the kids because I remember Kobe coming like like, and then it kind of just opened up, and then like I seen us like we're tripping.
Yep.
Like we're tripping, and so I had to stop there. Like so, I think it had alarmed them because like he never seen it before between us. He never seen it.
Remember, he actually mentioned that. Like I can't remember how long ago it was, but he was just like, "Yeah, man, I need you too."
Oh and he did say, I need you to.
That's baby number 3, Kobe.
Our thoughtful, intellectual child.
Very intellectual kid. Oh my goodness, it's so bizarre. That guy, he thinks like an adult sometimes. It's scary.
A very intellectual child, very bright young man.
Yeah, but I'm thinking now because I think there was a period in my life where I think I felt like. Rest in heaven, Wendell, but I think there was a period in my life where I felt like he didn't like me. But, when we had our conversation before he passed, he was like, it wasn't the fact I didn't like you. He was like, it was the fact that I was trying to discipline you in a way that I may not have known at the time. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, man, why am I only going to get the whooping? But not knowing, I was a hyper little kid. You know what I'm saying? So it was just one of those things where I was like, oh, and I mean, just processing the conversation when we had it, it was just like, wow. So yeah. Yeah,
and then dealing with different kids, even though you call them your own, in reality, they are a different child that you didn't birth on your own, that you didn't instill these principles into, and then you as the step parent would have to come in and fill in or fit in, get in where you fit in, basically. Yeah. And so that is stuff that you do have to deal with. That's a struggle. Like I remember when Amari was little, I had a secret problem.
Yeah.
And it took, I didn't tell Anthony about this problem till it was few years ago, maybe 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So when we've been married about 10 years, but the first maybe 2 years of our marriage, I used to get anxiety every time he would call and say that he was about to bring Amari over. And I would have to call my sister and I would tell her like, okay, he's saying that he's about to bring Amari over, just calm me down. And so she would be like, okay, you're going to be fine. And she would ask like, what is it? And I'd be like, I don't know. Like it would just be every time it would be like, everything would just flare up. But as soon as baby girl would come through the door, it would instantly just poof and it would just go away.
Wow.
But as soon as you would mention like she was coming over, it would like everything, like I can't even explain it. Like all this stuff would just fuel in me. But she was so hyper. And then I think it was also that she was a girl and I was a boy mom.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to make sure I didn't do anything wrong. Didn't say, you know what I'm saying? Like you want to be this, not a perfectionist. I wasn't even trying to gain for perfection. I was just, I don't have an answer for it. I really don't, because it just happened to me. I never dealt with really an anxiety.
Maybe you just didn't know how to handle the adjustment of having Amari here and not know, because like you said, because you were such a boy mom, it was like, okay, man, is she delicate? Is she, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like how do I deal with her? And then Amari was extra.
Yeah.
She wasn't just,
my baby was me times 10.
Yeah, she was big, and I like had to watch her. And then Anthony worked all the time, so she was always present with me, and she was so sweet. And so it was just like I said. So that was like as soon as she would come through the door, like everything would just go away. Yeah, everything would just instantly go away. Because when I would hear because our garage door was loud at the time, when I hear the garage, I'd be like, okay, Melvin, like he's here, and she'd be like, okay, and hang up. And as soon as she come through the door, it would go away. I don't know if it was because I had no choice but to be in that element instantly, or it was because it would just literally just go away. Like it was like, what is this for?
Yeah.
But it would instantly go away and I was just fine. But I definitely had anxiety attacks off of that, which is weird. So as the other spouse to the step parent, I would say, ask how you doing. Are you dealing with, how are you doing as a step parent or something? Are you okay? Because I held that in for a long time. Yeah. A very long time I dealt with that. And I dealt with that on my own. And it was a secret. And my sister was the only one that knew unless she spread it to somebody else and said, Jackie is tripping. Like, why is she like that?
It's definitely important when you have a blended family first that the lines of communication with each other are definitely open. Definitely talk about your concerns. Definitely talk about your anxieties, everything that you may have for the other child that you may not birth that you may not have birthed, or even for the male. Just make sure that you talk about that stuff, because it is definitely important. I don't think I ever got scared in that sense. Just because, I'm not saying that you did. My situation was just a little different, and I always said I would not treat, like, for me, I don't even call my stepchildren stepchildren. I don't think I've ever, since we've been together, called them, like, again, when I signed up for her, I signed up for them, so they my babies.
Oh, yeah. I did before, and he let me know. I was on the phone with somebody, and I was like, yeah. Somebody asked, like, who is that in the background? And I was like, oh, that's my stepdaughter or something. Yeah. And you had an instant attitude. I was like,
I got big
what?
Mad. I got big mad.
I was like, what?
What? Step? No, it's your daughter. Play with me.
He did not do that, but we did have a discussion
we did.
later about it. And I didn't think it was nothing wrong with it, because I'm more of like a realist, and I just go for the truth and just say it. And I'm like, what's wrong? Like, that's what it is. But then now I understand. But then I was just like, what did I say wrong?
Yeah. And I ain't pressing everybody to do what I do. That's just how I operate. That's just how my thought process is. But yeah.
But yeah, she's my daughter now. I wouldn't say anything other.
That's what's up.
fully invested.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, fully invested in her, and and everything's just fine, and my anxiety is gone, and took some years, but it's gone, and we talked about it and all that stuff. But any other suggestions for people with blended families or children? What to say? Anything about our children that we miss?
I always not really. Just always have faith. Let that be your foundation. Let prayer be your foundation. It is definitely important. Always believe. Talk to your children. And be open to let them talk to you back. So that's very important too.
I agree too. So look, one other thing, kind of off the scale slightly. What about you was about to say something?
I was just about to say, even if there's a fire.
But you made me lose my train of thought.
I apologize.
Oh gosh, I forgot what I was about to say.
I'm sorry, man. I just gotta. I can't help but go back to my son, man. He had me cracking up.
Anthony's talking about that scene in Step Brothers when Dale, was it Dale?
No, that was Brennan. when Brennan told his mom when they was on the way to the house, and he was like, "I'm not gonna call him Dad, even if there's a fire." That's how Dorian was.
Even if there's a fire. Every time we see that movie, we're like, Dorian. He crazy. That's what I was going to ask you. So what do you think about blending our extended families, like your parents, my parents, or at least us meeting the other parents? Because I thought your family was great. Like, your family dynamic was something I wasn't used to at all. And so I was like, this is great. Yeah. Like, they come together. They have these parties. Like, life is wonderful over here. And then I was like, well, we really don't do anything. On my side. So coming over to your side is great.
I thought your family was funny, man, cool, legit. My very first meeting them, we was down in Clinton, and
how did I introduce you?
Oh my Lord!
I took him down to the country where my grandma stayed at. And we get down there, and we're down there shooting guns down there in Clinton, Missouri.
Man, nah, she been light. So check this. So I'm meeting everybody, all her uncles, her cousins. Then next thing you know, I see everybody just going to their trunks and getting out these bags and all this. I'm like, what these cats is doing? So we go around on the property. We go to this little makeshift shooting range. Everybody pulling out guns. One of her uncles probably had a flask and a gun in his sock or something. I mean, everybody. And then this one, she pulled out a gun. But I said, do I know you? Man, it was crazy. I was like, but I loved it though. It was definitely legit. I felt right at home too though. Yeah, her family, man. I'm very thankful they welcomed me with open arms and stuff, man. And when my grandma was like, yo, she legit. When grandmother was like that, I was like, oh, okay.
But she made it in.
Yeah, I got me a keeper.
Yeah, I had to worry about his sister Danisha. Like, if my sister Danisha don't like you, I'm like, oh, Lord. Lord.
It was so funny. They were just, I don't know. They was protective of me.
When you came down to Clinton, I remember my cousin Johnny had pulled me to the side, and he was like, hey, Jackie, that's a big Nick. And he was like, he cool though? And I was like, yeah, cousin, he cool. He was like, all right, man, if he ain't, man, let me know. He was like, that's a big dude. I was like, nah, he cool.
Oh, man. Hey.
I don't think I ever told you that, but Johnny pulled me to the side. Johnny pulled me in the woods, like, hey, cousin, like, this dude is big, and if he ain't right, let me know. I got you. I was like, nah, he cool, Johnny, he cool. I love this man.
Yeah.
And him and Johnny cool.
Yeah, me and Johnny. Shout out to Jay. J Mac.
Yeah, I thought your family was great.
Me too.
Everybody's cool. Like when we first, early in our relationship, like my mama had moved to Virginia, right? And then like I was like, I'm going to Virginia. And he instantly was like, I want to meet him.
Yep.
And he bought his own ticket, and flew up to, I believe you bought your own ticket.
I did.
And flew up
I
to,
did.
Yeah,
Matter of fact, I bought it on you. You had this red Dell laptop. I bought my ticket on your laptop when you were staying in 15005.
I know I stayed in
15003.
And you
I
was
stayed
in
in
15005.
My bad.
Yeah. But yeah, he flew right up there matched his flights up to my flights, and
It was
we flew out to Virginia together. He met my mom and my stepdad, and we had a great time in Virginia. Where did we go to? The aquarium.
We went everywhere.
Yeah, the beach. And
I thought all that really beach life, riding bicycles and double twin bicycles. I thought that was just
on TV. Yeah, it was at Virginia Beach, riding in there.
People playing volleyball. I'm like, what?
Yeah, we was riding that little bike.
I'm dude from the hood, man. I ain't know
really
nothing about that.
Themselves.
Yeah.
And while we was in the water having a great time, but scared at the same time, I was like, oh, this water's so dark. Like, I don't know if there's a shark in here. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fun. So we had a great time.
We did.
That was fun.
I'm very thankful though that when all the pieces came together, the blended family with the kids, the blended family on her side and my side, we all just kind of been able to just kind of mesh, and it never really, we ain't been together that much, both sides, but when we did, it was a no-brainer, no issues at all. So
yeah, I don't think it was a no-brainer. Nope. Any issues. Everything really, like we said in the last video, was like God's plan. Like everything really came about fairly smooth as us coming together. I don't remember any issues at all. Can you think of anything?
No, ma'am. Mm-mm.
I remember being a little nervous when you would have me take Mari to ballet
classes.
Really? Yeah, because when I would take her, I was like, felt like I was getting set up for something. And I was like, why you keep asking me to take her to ballet? Like, why I don't want to take her? Like, what is going on? Like, what are you doing where you can't take her?
I wanted you to get in the mode of bonding with her. You know what I mean? Because I'm daddy. You know, I'm gonna be there.
I can see that.
But I wanted you to be able to.
Well, I felt it, and I was like, what is he doing? Like, why?
Yeah. So maybe it was set up for you to bond with her a little bit better. You know what I mean? Not saying that y'all were at odds or no means.
Right.
But, I mean.
Yeah. I was like, but I did have that thought. Yeah. I was like, why are you asking me to take her?
I thought it was important.
It was. I remember going have to change her little. She was so little.
Yeah.
Had to change her from her ballet to her tap shoes. Yeah. And she would run from that little room and run to the next little room. She was real little.
Yeah.
Gosh, that was a long time ago.
But 13 and think she grown.
Yeah, She's up there in age now. I'm think of anything else. The kids are blended families coming together fairly easy. You didn't have no struggles with. I think it's just your personality. I don't see you having a struggle with building any type of relationships. Really.
No.
Adding in, you dealt with kids. You was like you dealt with kids and you did all the, you know what I'm saying? You had all the behavioral. So he had experience with behavioral health type of kids and all of this extra stuff. So for him to jump into a situation with kids.
But I honestly, I love kids though. Like,
yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying.
I honestly do. If we,
I don't care if she got kids.
If we were set up like I wanted us to be set up, you probably had about 4 or 5 more. Ma'am.
Who's JJ?
Yours. You know we was plucking like jackrabbits, so.
We were.
Sorry,
we were.
Yeah,
I would have to shut that down eventually.
You would have?
Yeah,
hey, girl. You would want to get a soccer mom?
If everything, you know what? No soccer moms. Who wants that?
Soccer moms is dope.
Well, that Honda Odyssey was nice. We did check that out, but that was like. But I don't want one.
Okay.
But I didn't want one. I didn't want to be popping out all them kids. I like my body. I ain't gonna try to change it up too much. Elijah got all them changes from Elijah done stuck. It don't seem like it's trying to go nowhere without a lot of work.
Yeah, but I always told her she wasn't meant to have a girl. Physically have a girl.
You can't tell me what I'm meant to have. let me tell you, if we wouldn't have had that situation happen, the next one would have been the next one. What? Did you just do that? It would have been. He ain't got no control over that. I don't have control over that. First of all, we can get them untied and we can try again.
Gee, I'm good.
You sure?
Probably.
Because we can try again, and I can guarantee you I'll get what I want.
No. I was trying to put Elijah back. No.
Me too. Dang it! Look, right when we decided that we didn't want to have no more kids, we was planning kids to blend, because that's another thing. So after we had all of our kids, and we was like, you know what, we should have another kid to bring all the kids together so they all got a shared sibling. So that's where Elijah's thought came from. Add this one in, they can all say they got this sibling together.
Yeah.
Great idea. Until I decided that's a terrible idea, because we had free weekends every other weekend we had a free weekend. It was great. And then we was like, you know what, that's dumb. Let's not have another kid. And so one day I was painting or whatever. I was doing dangerous painting, hanging off the ledge, trying to paint and all this. And then I think it was the next day I found out I was pregnant. I was like, oh my God, right when we decided, like, you know what, that is not smart to get pregnant. Let's stop these kids.
Devastated.
Already pregnant. I was like, I've been pregnant. This is stupid. Welcome, Elijah Jones. We still love you, okay? But it was not wise at that time. Adding in daycare and diapers and all of that. That was a whole terrible financial decision.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord. Yes. And then our freedom as just having a free weekend, because that kind of was a good thing as being blended family, because when we had our free weekends, we was able to like go somewhere and didn't have to worry like about adding. We were traveling because we knew we had that free weekend. Like, this kid is going over there, this kid is going over there, and we ain't got no kids, so let's burn out.
Let's go.
Yeah, and then we couldn't.
St. Louis was our
because
spot.
now we got a third wheel. If y'all want to add that third wheel, don't add that third wheel. I'm trying to tell you.
Take your time.
Don't add that third wheel. Y'all got y'all blended family. Y'all need that extra baby. They still gonna love each other. I'm telling you.
Because we like going to Colorado, and guess what? We got to have a Mr. Tag along with us.
We call him our forever child. Yeah. He's forever going to be with us on every vacation, everywhere we go. He gets to come along.
God bless America.
Darn it! Yeah, but he gets to come along. It is so funny, but that's how that goes. But that's all about our family.
That's all about our little blended family. You probably got more stuff. We'll be here all day if that happens.
Yeah. Our videographer that we ain't paying to take care of our services.
You don't want to be in our video, dog? That's okay.
Man.
But check this out. We appreciate y'all. Continue to like and subscribe our channel. And, we continue to invite you in our home, in our lives.
In our truth.
In our truth. Hey, if you have any questions, comments, please put them down below. We'll answer them best we can.
If you want us to talk about something,
shoot us something, man.
We'll make a video about it
everything.
If we can.
Yeah. So, the next video, we're going to be transparent about finances.
Yeah, we're going to talk about finances and how we literally struggled for a long time and how we kind of got through that, because I don't think we're not perfect, but we're a whole lot better than what we were.
Oh, yeah.
We're a whole lot better than where we were.
Hit him with the Travis Kelce.
Yeah. Let him know.
But yeah, man, we going to talk about finances and how we overcame a lot of different situations in that process. So the struggle was real. So we appreciate you guys. Love you very much. Can come back and enjoy us. Come back into our home. And we love y'all. Peace.